Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right. Look out. Forgotten it again. There you go. I think I need another haircut, actually. There you go. Just sort that out. I have a good little barber up there in Wollongong, so yeah. Anyway, how are you guys for a Thursday night? It's look, Assange is a big topic here in Australia, but again, no interview last night, no interview this morning. Anyway, we just got to watch. We'll probably have a few things on in the showcase. We'll have a few clips on that, no doubt. But down here in the Illawarra, guys, we got a couple of things. Number one, the thing to do is, we got another school teacher down here that's, he actually, they're going former NRL. He played one game, and that's maybe his problem, one game for Balmain. But, this guy's on charges, guys, all right, for a 10-year-old. Now, he's an ex-school, or he's a school teacher. He's not anymore. Yeah, he was. All right, and, so again, in the Illawarra, that was a school down south. I won't name it. You can go and have a look in the Mercury or whatever you want. And, but yeah, Mr. Keith Ashman and others like yourself, mate, is it going to get caught? Is it going to get found out? Okay. So, So all you pedos out there worldwide, all right, it's coming down on you. All right. We got, the guys over there. There's these guys, what did I say? They were Colorado pedos, weren't it? Colorado, I think. But anyway, yeah, they're just busting guys left, right, and center, mate. They're just doing such a wonderful job. Where? In the community, on the ground. Now, I'm not saying you get vigilantes together and do that sort of stuff, all right? I'm just telling you it's happening, and it's happening in a lot of places. So another thing we had, guys, was very funny. I've heard of studies come out, right? And I have skimmed over it. But this guy went the other way, and he done a study on non-vaccinated children. So anyone whose child was not given any vaccines. And you know what they couldn't find in that group of people, guys? Wonder what it is. Absolutely zilch, none, zero. Autism, none. So again, it's up to us, guys. We got to educate, all right? But this is the evidence now. Someone's gone on the other side and had a look, and found out that, in all kids that are non-vaccinated, there is no autism. Can't find any. So again, now we got, places like Westfield, Parramatta, putting up suicide prevention glass panels, guys, in the shopping centres. It's just going ballistic, okay? And they're bringing it in. This is what the New World Order wants, and this is what our puppet government, right, is actually letting come in, guys. We have home invasions, knifings, all right, machetes, everything. We've got, guys that are just, they got a guy the other day in Newcastle, I think it was, all ready to just go on a terrorism rant. You know what I mean? They're all set up, guys. The sleepers are set up. So be aware out there, people, all right, because, it's getting a little bit hectic. Now, I got a couple of things up here. What is it? Oh, the bird flu, all right. The bird flu, guys, they're going to push really, really hard, okay? That's their next little agenda. But people of Wollongong, okay, if you're out there listening, which I hope you are, share the show around, guys, all right? Get it out there. People of Wollongong, this is the little brochure that the government's now putting out after bullshit Bowen was down here, all right, and gave his little declaration over there at, BHP last week. We put it on. So 9 months to 1 year. Let's have a look at this, guys, because I want people in Wollongong and everywhere else that lives on the coast, you need to know this, all right? The area identification, the public consultation, and the assessment of feedback. Well, that happened 9 months to a year. It took, all right? And guess what? We won it 60-something%. All right? We didn't want it. It was a big no. So, and then it's got the next arrow here. We are here, right, at the decision making, right? Right there. Okay, we are here. Declaration. So his declaration is obviously that they're going to move down. I've only got the brochure here, guys, but they're going to move it. See the dotted line? Well, they're not going to encase that bit anymore. But the other bit they are, you can see the reef down there and the sand, going into Wollongong. So this is where they want to put these things. All right, right now we got harbours down there and everything else, as you know, Port Campbell and that. But listen to this. Up to 7 years after the declaration, and I want you to think about this, guys, in the amount of time. This is all money laundering, okay? Again, I've told you this, all right, but I want to explain to you how. Feasibility licence applications, environmental assessment and approvals. Well, wouldn't you think that you already had your environmental assessment done? You know what I mean? So that when the people had come back and maybe said yes, if they wanted them, that your environmental assessment was ready to go. I mean, how do you guys plan? I've run companies before. I know what a critical path is. I'm not stupid. Okay, but you guys seem to be absolutely of no intelligence at all. So then we've got, right, environmental assessment and approvals. Then we've got developing management plans. So we haven't even got a plan for them yet. We haven't got a plan on how to manage this. All right, and this is up to a 7-year process. So who's getting paid in this 7 years to do all the consultancy? This is what these guys are doing, guys. This is just an absolute friggin' rot, right? Then, up to 40 years, we've got commercial license applications, construction and operation, and decommissioning. They've actually mentioned decommissioning. Why would you mention that? And they're harping on that our coal-fired plants are no good. But, up to 40 years. So, guys, we said that there was some down at Port Kembla. I got told that they weren't for this actual wind farm. They were for somewhere else and getting transported there. I'd have to take that as gospel as good knowledge, all right, because I don't know any different. But these guys are going to rot money out of you for the next 7 years just getting up to a development management plan. This is how it works, guys. So Wollongong, they've said here, right, it's smaller than originally proposed. It's 20 kilometres offshore to minimise visual impacts, 10 kilometres further out than originally proposed. Well, there's probably more marine traffic out there. But anyway, allows space for the safe management of shipping to and from Port Kembla. So actually, how they had it before, there wasn't safe management to get shipping in. That's why they've taken the dotted line out. It's insane, guys. But this is your councils. All right, we got to do something about this Wollongong, all right, because that's what they reckon, that they're going to come and power our Illawarra's future. All right. And now we're talking Port Kembla. I was correct. Okay. They're thinking about a nuclear plant. Guys, we got free energy in the ether. We need none of this stuff. Yeah. What about the marine life? You're exactly right. Anyway, let's bring Cazza in and get on with the show, guys. I could talk for hours on all the crap that's going wrong. We just got to try and get something going right. And that's going to take all of us to do it. Hey, Caz?
That's it. Hi. Look, we've got something pretty rare happened here, and with regards to Julian Assange, and you might actually recognise what's going on here, Dave.
To Canberra, as I said, where Assange has just landed.
Can't hear it.
Fiona Willen is there. Fiona, take us through what we can expect over the next hour or so.
Can see it.
Julian Assange is in the building.
Yeah, I didn't need to see it.
He's clearing customs. He's with his family. We saw him step off the plane just a short time ago.
Who's this little infiltrator coming in?
Just a short
Wait.
He received a big cheer from the crowd. Some of the supporters. Excuse me, sir. Sorry. We received a big cheer. We received a really big cheer from his supporters.
Look at
she wasn't impressed.
How can he do that?
Yeah, the sound wasn't good on it, guys, but what we wanted you to see was Stevie's head. All right, yeah, back at work. Stevie the sleuth, just getting around, exposing shit. Well done, bro. Hope you and Pam are well.
All right, and now also Julian Assange's lawyer here in Australia, she's come out and she's praised Albo for that. She's actually hit home as well.
It's important that everybody continues to rally around the free speech issues that are so important in this case and continue to demand better free speech protections for journalists here in Australia and in the US and for whistleblowers. And with that, I want to make sure that we recognise David McBride, who is in prison here in Australia for having revealed information about war crimes in Afghanistan. It is unacceptable he's in prison, and I cannot stand here today to talk about free speech without mentioning him. And I know that Julian will be happy that we have. So thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. Go her. So, oh, yeah.
It's what's really going to go on, but Caz, this is like, there's too much going on here, man. I can smell a big bomb somewhere. Not a bomb, sorry, I shouldn't use that word. I don't mean a bomb, explosive bomb. I mean, hey, yeah. Anyway,
well,
yeah.
It's interesting to see how it plays out because the ABC have latched onto it and tried to hijack an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she, of course, turned it around. Look at this.
As she
You've
does.
never accepted the results of the 2020 presidential election. Indeed, you've lionised people for the attack
Sarah,
on the
aren't we
Capitol.
talking about Julian Assange?
Well,
Sarah,
are you
even a serious interviewer? I thought we're talking about Julian Assange here today.
We are.
That's what you were asking me to come on your Australian news show. I don't usually do interviews like this because people like you can't be taken seriously.
Let me just put this to you, because you use the term truth as the reason why you have been so supportive of Julian Assange. So I want to go to one of the most dominant issues of truth in the American landscape. So, as I just said, you've lionised.
Coming from an Australian here, this is the dominant issue of truth. Okay, let's hear it, Sarah.
So you've lionised people imprisoned for their role in attacking the Capitol on January the 6th, including visiting them in prison. This is my question. What will Donald Trump's MAGA supporters do if he loses the election?
So what does this have to do with Julian Assange again, Sarah? I think that was the purpose of our interview. Here, let me tell you something that you don't quite understand. In 2020, America watched riot day in and day out with BLM riots that caused over $2 billion in our communities and cities across the country. Sarah, what the Australian people know that probably don't like your show very much, but they do understand the truth, is that in America today, we have a two-tier justice system. And the Justice Department, the DOJ, targets their political enemies. And President Trump is the very top of that. And people that protested the election on January 6th are also the the target of it. And what you probably don't tell your viewers is that many of these people that are being arrested and put in jail simply walked into the Capitol building through open doors and videoed and took pictures of the inside of the Capitol, and then they walked out through doors. And that's, I'm sure, not the images that you show on your network in Australia, but it's a shame because that's what the media has done and twisted and lied. That's why we applaud Julian Assange, because he didn't twist and lie and tried to pervert the truth.
We'll leave it there. But anyway,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, who takes on her?
She's on fire.
No one.
Yeah, I've been in a space with her. She's the same in there, man. She's she's unreal. She's just some really honest, good people out there, guys. And you can tell, you can see their character. They don't care. We know we're all at a time now, right? All of us know that, this is a time to just open your mouth and put them on the spot. Okay, it's a time to make it personal. You know what I mean? And call them out, and that's what it's about, guys. That's where we are. Okay, so.
That's it. Now, it wasn't just Marjorie Taylor Greene. The other American, of course, was Tucker Carlson in Western Australia being taken on by this interviewer. I'll play as much as I can. It's absolute gold, all of it. But anyway.
Distraction everywhere, guys. What's going to go on?
Immigration, and in the past you've talked about how white Australians, Americans, Europeans are being replaced by non-white immigrants in what is often referred to as the Great Replacement theory. This is the same.
Have I said that whites are being replaced?
Well,
I don't think I said that.
Well, it's been mentioned on your show 4,000 times. And
really, when did I say that?
On your show.
I said whites are being replaced?
You have said that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I would challenge you to cite that because I'm pretty sure I haven't said that. I said native-born Americans are being replaced, including blacks.
Native-born Americans.
Native-born Americans. And Americans black Americans have been, African Americans have been in the United States for, in many cases, their families over 400 years. And their concerns are every bit as real and valid and alive to me as the concerns of white people whose families have been there 400 years. So I've never said that whites are being replaced. Not one time. And you can't cite it.
Untrue.
So we just met, but when our relationship starts with a lie, it makes it tough to be friends. So let's pull that back. I'm happy to explain what I do think.
So.
Well, you actually can't say it because I didn't say it, and I don't believe it. And I'm telling you that to your face, so why don't you just accept me at face value? My concern is that the people who are born in the country are the main responsibility of its leaders. And as noted earlier, when those leaders shift their concern from the people whose responsibility it is to take care of to people around the world to put their priorities above that of their own citizens, that's immoral. And they are being replaced in my country, people who are born in the United States. And the birth rate tells the whole story. They are not at replacement rate. And so the U.S. population is growing because we're importing people from other countries. And my view is that happy people have children. And a functioning economy allows them to do that. And we don't have that. And so you need to fix the economy and fix the culture and make it so that people who want to have kids can. You don't just go for the quick sugar fix of importing new people. Like, that's my position. And if you think that's racist, that's your problem.
I never called you a racist.
But of course you are suggesting. And
well,
I must say, one of the reasons people don't like people like you in the media is that you never say exactly what you mean. Your slurs are all by implication, and you're about to tell me the Great Replacement theory is racist or anti-Semitic, whatever. I've said what I've said to you right now like 100 times in public. I hope to, if I live long enough, say it 100 more times. I think it's completely honest and real, not racist or scary. It's factually true. It's not a theory. It's a fact. And the whole point of your question was to be like, you're a scary racist.
Well, I haven't.
And my response is, no, I'm not. Okay, well, how about no more lying in your questions, and then I'll answer it.
Okay. Well, this is the same theory, or as you say, idea, that has inspired the New York Buffalo shooting where 11 black Americans were killed. 2 white Americans were killed.
Like,
it's also inspired.
It's not. First of all,
it's inspired one of the worst Australian guys
how do they
of all
get
time
people
to
this
shoot
stupid in the media? I guess it doesn't pay well. Look, I'm sorry. I've lived among people like you for too long, and I don't mean to call you stupid. Maybe you're just pretending to be, but I'm totally against violence. I'm totally against the war in Ukraine, for example, which doubtless you support. And like all dutiful liberals, support more carnage. I don't. I hate mass shootings, actually. Nothing I said, what does it mean to inspire something? My views are not bigoted against any group. They're honest. They're factual. That's not hate. That's reality. And my views derive from my deep concern for Americans, actually. Americans aren't having kids because they can't afford to. And nobody in charge cares. And so that's my position. That doesn't inspire mass shootings. How dare you try to tie me to some lunatic who murdered people? How dare you, actually? And in fact, I mean, do you know what I mean? I'd be like, Hitler wore those shoes. A lot of people are saying that you're like Hitler. Can you explain those shoes? Hitler wore exactly the same shoes. And you're like, I've got nothing to do with Hitler. Well, that's how I feel about your absurd, disingenuous question.
Right, so therefore you support gun control?
What? I thought but it did. No, I don't support disarming law-abiding people so they can't defend themselves. So the government has a monopoly on violence? I don't think so.
Exactly,
Kev Newton. That's illegal, as you know. But moreover, it should be illegal in every country. A sovereign person has the right to defend himself and his family. Period. And that said, I'm totally opposed to harming anyone. Have you been calling? Are you concerned about the war in Ukraine and the countless innocents being murdered there every single day? I doubt you are. Probably Putin bad. I am. I'm a Christian. I hate violence. I hate mass shootings. I have guns at home and often on my person when I'm in the United States, I'm proud to say, because I want to defend myself and those I love against violence. That's the point. I'm not perpetrating crimes. I'm not shooting strangers. I'm defending what I love. And if you're against that, I guess I would ask why. Why would you be against that?
Well, so you don't think you harbor any kind of responsibility for these hate crimes?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be charitable.
Tucker,
I was like, maybe you're just pretending to be dumb. Now I don't think it's an act.
Man. Can I say something? You know what the beautiful thing here is, Caz? That the world is watching the intelligence of our friggin' journalists. Now, if you or I had been that journo there, what questions we have asked? Because why? We're truthful. That just make us look like a friggin' embarrassment, mate. Last two we played made us look like absolute morons.
I agree. How embarrassing was it? But look, here's another embarrassment. Everything's going downhill for our trolls and everyone really. Tucker was trending. Cookers were trending. The hashtag that they set up for us has been working for us.
Get that into your cookers. Sit on that and rotate.
Anyway, look, I don't think they always come back that we don't know anyone like you guys. You guys are a minority. Actually, no. It isn't so untrue.
And I take the finger, sit on that and rotate. Look, when you actually realise and you want to come over, we'll certainly have our arms open, and I won't be jabbing you with any fingers, okay? Yous are just like idiots at the moment, but yous will come to. It's all good. We can see the turn in you now. The pendulum's swinging. The cookers are now wondering if they're not too cooked all right. Yeah. Cooked with that bioweapon in your friggin' vein.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. So sad. Look, here's Channel 7 has been hit by a major hijack, AI hijack. And what they've done is they've actually hijacked that and put Tesla. Tesla unveils a masterpiece, the Tesla that will change forever. So, very interesting. So the Channel 7's having a rough week. So very, very interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think all the media is going to be having a bit of a tough week. You know what I mean? Because, it's just every time they come at us, they're getting smashed down. And especially with high-profile figures, that's what I mean. What's going on? This is just all mega exposure, man. It's like, I'm wondering what's going to come popping out of the background. Anyway.
That's it. All right, so while we've got so many people watching, what I'll do is just go through the notices. So you've got the Canberra, greeting the Governor-General, the new one, on July the 1st at 8 a.m. and greeting them to express their disapproval on the corruption in the Australian government. That's at the GGs, July 1st, 9 a.m. You've got this one, which is basically Forests for the People rally. Stop the Great Forest National Park, public use of public land, four-wheel driving, horse riding, hunting, wood collecting and prospecting. That's at Mansfield Botanic Gardens from 1 p.m, 13th of July, 2024. And brought to you by Stand in the Park, Albury, is this one, and that's a freedom gathering, and that's on Saturday the 13th of July at 5 p.m. at the Edamoga Pub, and free camping is available, and they have really awesome meals there. So if you're around, get along to it. All right, this guy is a young guy, and he has put it very succinctly. What is the elephant in the room?
I am just across the street from the RBA, who today announced that inflation is running red hot, which likely means that there's going to be another interest rate rise later in the year, which means more pain for Australians and families. There was absolutely no discussion about what is driving this, which is obviously mass immigration. If you're adding more people into an economy that is already running red hot, you're just going to break the thing. So yeah, the RBA Governor, Michelle Bullock, has previously said that population growth, which is entirely driven by immigration, is a major contributing factor to inflation. And so until we actually wind down the numbers and reduce the numbers, I think dramatically, we're going to see continued pain for Australians. Doesn't look like either of the major parties are willing to sufficiently answer this and solve this problem. So I think it's going to be a lot of pain for Australians, but an absolute tragedy that Australia has found itself in, and as always it's going to be the people, working class people, middle class people, who are really going to cop it for these political failures. So.
All right, so now on that, I just want to do a shout out to Daryl Polk. He watches our show regularly. This is his letter in the Mercury in Tasmania, the lack of accountability. He talks very succinctly in his letter to the editor, and I would encourage everybody to write their letters to their editors. Actually, start calling in Talkback Radio, okay, and just basically go, I want to talk about whatever they're talking about, and then start basically so that you get past the line, and then just basically start dropping some bombshells, okay? So because we've got so many truth bombs that we can actually say now, just say, the vaccine, how it was safe and effective. Well, wasn't too safe and effective. How come Japan's just basically banned it? Why are they putting studies together, and things like that? So, all right. So he's ended it really well here. He's actually said parliamentary privilege must be replaced with parliamentary accountability. Well done.
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. But will it happen? Not until we, the people, take back the control of our lives, guys, because they have no intention of stopping. That's it. Bottom line.
All right, this is a really sad story because actually we need really good cops, especially at the moment with so many reports of rogue policemen.
And the boys will love this if you see what speed he got up there.
But the highway patrol officer found himself on the wrong side of the law after racing to help an injured colleague. The force said he was reckless, but Bradley has no regrets.
All I ever wanted to do was be a copper.
He served with honour until he says he was forced out.
I've been in the job 17 years. I've never sprayed anybody. I've never battened anybody. I've never tasered anybody. I've never shot anybody. I've got divisional commendations for arresting armed offenders with knives. Look, I'm filthy that they did this to my career. I'm filthy that they did this to my family.
So how fast is too fast when you're a highway patrol cop racing to save a colleague's life?
I don't care about the speed. 214.
Movement in the background to have me out of the job.
Between Brad, who's driving, and his partner, more than 60 years of policing experience. They've just activated lights and sirens after an urgent call. Their colleague's been rear-ended while responding to a car crash on the Hume Freeway at Euroa.
The call came through on the radio from Lucas Paul, who's a colleague, and I know him quite well, saying that he'd just been hit. Lucas appeared dazed and confused and not easily able to diagnose whatever was wrong with him.
Then radio chatter falls silent.
And I'm going as quickly as I think, as safely as possible. Knowing full well that by the time I get there, I'm probably going to be doing the CPR.
Brad passes 77 cars during the almost 9-kilometre journey, hitting an alleged speed of 230 k's. Then comment that would later haunt him.
The camera car on the left, I don't care about the speed. 214.
When Brad arrives on scene, he can't find one of his 2 colleagues, Sergeant Robin Reed.
Anyway, you can cut it there, Cazz, yeah. What they done was got rid of him, guys, for what? For speeding. Right? That's what they got rid of him for rushing, you know what I mean? And that he broke, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's, yeah.
Why? Because he wanted to save someone.
Because he wanted to try and save someone. So, you know, you can watch the full clip of it, guys. But, yeah, incredible, you know what I mean? That's a good cop, you know what I mean? Gone for what? You know, making a choice, you know what I mean? And doing what he has to do. It was him, yeah?
But they keep pedos, yeah.
Yeah, they let pedos out of jail. They do whatever they want. You know what I mean? This guy looked like a great cop. They're the people that we need, guys, but they're the guys they're going to get rid of. Yeah, doing his job. Exactly. Anyway.
All right.
I don't think an Ambo does 230 kilometers an hour, but anyway, yeah, I don't know. But listen, you know, it's his decision, and there was no... If that had been, you know, if he made a mistake or something, well, then guess what? He would have had to pay for it, but he didn't. All right, he got there safely, you know what I mean, obviously. But anyway, this is just what happens, you know.
All right, let's have a look at this. This is Dr. Peter McCulloch, and he's kissing a chicken.
Baby. See you soon. Hey, everybody. Dr. Peter McCulloch here. I don't want anybody to be afraid of bird flu. I'm not afraid. This little bird, even if he gets avian influenza, he's going to do just fine. Let's not kill another single bird over a positive PCR test. Dr. Peter McCulloch.
All right, now this is a meme that I thought was worth including. Instead of killing millions of chickens because of bird flu, couldn't we just lock them down in a coop for 2 weeks to flatten the curve?
That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway. Yeah, and as that guy said, guys, that was one cop we picked out. I know you're going up there putting some sarcastic comments in, but that's one cop we picked in, you know, we picked out. Why? Because he's never had to taser anyone. And that's just how our law enforcement can be done, guys. Never shot anyone, right? Never had to taser anyone, never capsicum sprayed anyone. All right. So, yeah, what we're trying to do is, yeah. I know a lot of them are bad.
All right, look, this is another crazy story, and I don't actually know if it's real. I just included it last minute because it was so out there, but it may actually be another psyops or a fakie, but let's have a look at it anyway.
My son and I are at United Airlines waiting for our flight from San Francisco to Austin, and the flight attendant has denied access to us because he said that I made a derogatory comment about one of the flight attendants because I didn't use the right pronouns. Now they are forbidding us to get on the plane. I am with my son. He is 25 pounds. I've been carrying him for about 30 minutes. They denied us boarding priority, and now they are about to deny us to board the plane. We'll see what happens.
Banned from boarding a plane because they didn't use
She used the wrong pronoun. She used the wrong pronoun. This is where it's going to. And, you know, that would be real. That wouldn't be real because people don't put their face up there now and do this sort of stuff, right? When people can identify them, guys, and call them out like that other chick that got called out on TikTok. Okay? So, yeah, just remember that, you know, there's a lot of people out there. They'll find you, you know, they'll find you like that, you know, just by doing simple searches. We've got a clip like that. It might be tomorrow night. But, yeah, there's a clip on here. We've got, you know, that, yeah, so, you know, shows you how to actually just search and locate someone. Very simple, guys. All right. So, yeah, you know, you'll see that most of these, I think, those ones like that are authentic and real. That's what's happening. They're trying to push it, guys.
All right. Tori says has come out and said something. Let's have a listen to this.
He was asked, hey, why don't you go image the DNC server right there since you're there for us so we can keep it safe? And he did so. And he uploaded it where he was told. So he uploaded it where he was supposed to. And there were a lot of me's that saw it. So we find this and it's like, whoa, treasure trove. Copied. And we fractioned it so that way we can download it because it was so massive. That's what happened. So I'll tell you what happened to Sethridge. So he did his job as he was asked. At the same time, the RNC was also hacked. Again, Brennan MO. Let's hack. And the hack was done on purpose so you can delete information, insert information, and of course, with them putting Cambridge Analytica and sending them over to President Trump, which was a trap. Okay, that was a trap. They hacked the RNC. You mean you had someone within the GOP do it for you, because no one died there. And yes, some of those emails escaped, because that is what was considered mitigation. You have to give them something really bad. And so when he saw that they had retroactively changed things, the stories and the rumors going in, seeing that Bernie Sanders' elections were being stolen, the DNC was all about Hillary, not about real elections, that it was all rigged, he came in contact with a guy named Sean Lucas.
But we did make contact with somebody from the Democratic National Committee's office, and they've been served. Democracy has prevailed today.
So they decided, oh yeah, maybe we can get it out to someone else. And it was not to Julian Assange direct. And both of those guys are dead.
But in a bizarre twist of events, on August 2nd, less than 1 month after serving the subpoena, Lucas was reported dead.
Hillary's emails were still being examined. They had to get rid of the evidence. And the only way that they can access the whole DNC server is if there was a breach. And that's how you can go in and change things. This is why the FBI never asked for the server. That's the real story. So as Seth Rich thought that what he was doing was correct, later on he realized it was not. That's why there was such a big gap. They didn't need to find him. They needed to find out who had it. And they already knew that I myself had portions of the DNC server and others in March and February. Obama's lawyer for Seth Rich 3 years later says, you need to come and tell us about Seth Rich. I was like, I don't need to do anything. I don't know who you're trying to, you're being subpoenaed. I can't bring you anything because you're 3 years too late. And for the record, usually they're going to be 3 minutes too late. You know, Hillary doesn't have a patent on hammers or city dumps or bleach pit or, you know.
Didn't CrowdStrike initially...
All right, so that's that was actually her Out of the Shadows interview, Millie. That was actually 2 or 3 years ago that happened, but she's just redone it again, or circulated it again, because Julian Assange is being let out, and we know from the Q drops that Julian Assange and Seth Rich come into play around about now, or we're waiting for the marker. Oh.
Well, the drops and everything have been, this is timed to perfection, guys. This is like incredible. This is crazy, But anyway, let's just keep watching. But I'm telling you, keep your head on a swivel, because something's around the corner.
This is Take Back Our Borders in the US.
Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine art the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever.
So that's what I'm involved with in America, guys, all right? And we've got the same problem, guys. Worldwide, our borders are open, all right? I've told you how many are coming in here a month, and I've just got to, hang on, before I get to that, right, borders, that study on the unvaccinated, someone's called me out on that, and I will do the check-in and come back to you.
I've got it here.
Okay.
All right, finish it, and I'll bring it in, yeah.
Okay, so... Yeah, right. So that's where the guys, last year I done November live down at Dripping Springs. I spoke through Twitter live at the event. We'll be doing similar things. All right. We've got a live. It's it's Monday morning, AM. I'm going to be up about 2 a.m. or something to actually go live on the one that's happening again. But I'm well involved with it, guys. But what I'd like you to do is get that. If you see it around, share it around. All right, because what it is just showing people about what's going on. All right, this is how they're doing it, like El Salvador. You know, when Tucker asked him, how'd you get your country back? He said, we prayed. Okay, America's doing the same thing, guys. It's the Mexico, United States, and Canada. Now, we've got on the East Coast with most of our population, we've got Mexico, Victoria, we call it Mexico. We got New South Wales, which could, align with the states. And then we've got above us what you would call Canada or Queensland. So I don't see why we can't do the same thing, guys, and unite and start pushing. We got to push on a lot of points, guys, and our borders is one. They are continually bringing these people in so they can infiltrate you in your houses, in your streets, in your shopping centers. Okay, this is their game plan. Okay, so again, we should have a very hard think about our borders. All right, but that's what I'm involved with in America. I was involved in the first one. This is the second run, and we're going to be running them right up through till November. All right, but we needed to catch on, guys. All right, so everyone's got to get involved. All right, your borders are under attack as well, guys. You know it. So we got a lot of work to do, people.
All right, this is the autism one.
Or people are totally unvaccinated. Is that where do you find? Is it just the parents that stepped up and said? I would think that's a very small percentage because so many of us blindly followed, the recommendations to vaccinate children.
Yeah, it's less than 1% of the public. So the Amish are a perfect example of a large group of people who are largely unvaccinated. And there's we can't find an autistic kid who was unvaccinated. It's very, very rare in the Amish community, very, very rare. You won't find kids with ADD, with autoimmune disease, with panda pans, with epilepsy. You just don't find any of these chronic diseases in the Amish. And the U.S. government has been studying the Amish for decades, but there's never been a report out to the public. The reason, of course, is it would show that, if you don't follow our guidelines, you're going to end up healthier. That's why there's no report after decades of studying the Amish. There's no report because the report would be devastating to the narrative. It would show that the CDC.
We'll leave it there, but anyway. So
I stand uncorrected. Thank you. Okay.
That's it. Look, we're just going a bit over time, but this is one of these really weird stories, okay, that I think is really important to include. Let's have a look at this.
Of older women getting face transplants. Now, I'm sure this is not new technology, and we've had the ability to probably do this for several years, and it's now just going mainstream. But my only question is where are they getting these faces from? Because if you ask me, this looks like a child's face. And we know how big the human trafficking problem is, not just in our country, but internationally. So I dare to ask the question, where are they getting children's faces from? It's crazy.
Nah, that's mad. That is
it's
mad.
Interesting, isn't it? So,
look.
All right, Dave, you wrap up and I'll...
Can't rule anything out, guys. That's what I'm saying to wrap up. Everything's possible because, as I've said, and I've said it 100 times, everything we've been told has been a lie. So anything's possible. That is just crazy, man. That is like next level if that is going on. But guys, there's a lot of evil going on out there. All right, and they're ramping it in. So we've just got to stand. All right, that's what we got to do. Stand, let them know we're not putting up with it anymore. All right, and keep pushing, guys. All right, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. We know that, okay, but we've got to keep moving because they know also that they're getting taken out. All right, everyone's going down, guys. I've told you about it all. All right, everybody's going down. Okay, but unfortunately, we're the meat in the sandwich. All right, and we got a little bit of work to do, and we got a little bit of rough time to get through. But let's get looking after ourselves. Get out of the shops. Slow the beast. Stop putting your money into Woolies, Coles. All right, get your fuel after, at night. Start, getting the cash out of the bank, using cash everywhere. It's all up to us, guys, but we can be the difference. All right, we can. All right, we proved it before and we can do it again. And we know that we are being a difference because otherwise they wouldn't be coming at us like they are. Okay, so again, Illawarra, you need to get together. Okay, you need to stop this. You know, they've just said it's going in. Well, they're going to money launder you for the next 7 years, and then they're going to money launder you. And, you know, by then, you know, if we haven't done something, it's all over anyway by 2030. But anyway, or 40. Anyway, guys, that's where we are. That's what's coming. That's what they want to see coming. We've got a different view. So let's lift our ascension, lift our vibe, all right, and not let these guys with their filthy electromagnetic radiation poisoning, which is what they're hitting us with, guys. All right, don't let them get away with it. All right, start looking after yourself. You all know where to go. There's plenty of sites out there. All right, get yourself cleansed. All right, they're pushing parasites. Get the website out there. All right, so thank you, Daniel. StopTheRightSackTheLot.org, guys. Share it around. All right, there's no time to sit back anymore. All right, you got to, you know, go and tell your family again. Tell that person again. All right. Thanks, Ashley.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome, mate. We've been around for a little while, but yeah, we're here. Share us around, will you? Because we're highly sensitive and we have trouble getting out, darling. Anyway, see you guys. See you tomorrow night. Well done. We're nearly through another week.
Night, guys. All right. Good night.
I was afraid, I was petrified, thinking Mom was gonna wallop me and turn my hide. I went and stole her dinner while she left the room, and now I think I'm in the doghouse, feel impending doom. And now she's back to an empty plate, and you all thought she had killed me after her burger I ate. You all thought I'd gone to heaven, and all of you were sad, but be glad, because I'm right here and still bad. No Rainbow Bridge, I didn't go. Mom yelled at me and told me I'll call me greedy so-and-so. If I can steal her dinner once again, know how I will. I just hope his fillet steak that she's browned and